Sonic, carrying you around to find Eggman is nothing but a pain.
Chili dogs?
No, Sonic, I'm not talking about chili dogs.
I want chili dogs.
You know what? Never mind.
Hi everyone, Art with Artemis here. Today I will be showing you how I drew Tails and Sonic on what I like to call daily doodles. For those of you who may not know, my brother Patch Toons released a new cartoon recently. He made a Sonic cartoon in which I was able to help draw some of the backgrounds and voice act as Tails the Fox. If you haven't seen it already, I recommend you go ahead and check out his channel and watch the video. I'll put a link to my brother's channel down below, and I'll also include the link to his latest video. My brother makes a lot of amazing cartoons, so you should definitely go ahead and subscribe to him and help support him. But anyways, let's get started. Okay, so I start out with my reference and I put it on the left side of the page. And I go ahead on a separate layer and I start sketching in Tails' muzzle. I notice how Tails' eyes aren't exactly super rounded, but rather kind of a little bit squashed like a jelly bean. So I'm going to try and copy that as best as possible. And I start and sketch in some of his eyes, and his hairs, and his ears. I then work at the top of the head and work on some of the right ear. And I'm going to go ahead and add the whiskers on his face. I then start working on Tails' chest fur, and I work on his arm and his body position. I notice how his body is actually kind of shaped like a bean, so if you're trying to draw this, it's a bit easier to keep that in mind. Next, I go ahead and continue Tails' gloves, and I start working on the hand shape position, because on the picture on the left, he's actually carrying Sonic, so I want to make sure I get that as close as possible. And then, I start adding in some of his tails. Now, I go ahead and finish the rest of Tails' shoes, and I start shaping out Sonic's head. I look at my reference and try to fill in Sonic's facial details, such as his eye fold, eyes, nose, mouth, and muzzle. Some reason whenever I draw Sonic, I sometimes forget to add in his ears. I don't know why, I just always focus on more so the shape of his head, but I forget his ears, so definitely do not forget the ears. I'm going to start drawing in Sonic's glove and work on the position of his arm. And I'm going to use that to figure out where his body position is going to be. After adding most of the details, I'm going to go ahead and try and shape out the rest of the body, and add things such as his tail and his back quills. I'm going to resize it and move it a little bit over, so that way I can finish the shape of his shoes. After sketching Sonic and Tails in, I'm going to go ahead on a separate layer, and I'm going to start tracing all over my sketch. After doing my line art, I go ahead and color in Sonic and Tails, and I color in their basic colors. Next, since I want to make this photo transparent, I'm going to go on a separate layer and remove my background, and I'm going to start adding white to the details. I go on a separate layer and I start adding details such as lighting and shadowing. Then I start working on my background. I want to make it very similar to Green Hill Zone. So I try and make the checkered pattern grassy area that's in the Sonic games. I make sure to add some lighting and shadowing to give it more detail. And then we are done with our drawing. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you want to see more art tutorials or more art challenges, feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more. And until next time, bye!